Hi everyone, welcome back. This is a video about one of my favorite standard gauge engines, the 384 and the 384E. There are just two types of these. The E, which is right here, it's denoted by the letter E on this one, 384, and that one has a 384 on that only. What that means is the 384E has a reversing unit in it. The 384 has a manual reversing unit right here. All this is a little lever, push back and forth, that locks it into either forward or reverse. This one has a pendulum type reversing unit where it has no neutral, it just goes either forward or reverse. The 384 and 384E were made concurrently. I'm guessing because this was a lower cost to make than this one, with different mechanisms inside, made it a little more expensive to make than that. They were made from 1930 to 1932. As you can see, it's a 240 configuration on the wheels. Through the years, the 2 years I should say, they had a lot of changes. The running boards, for instance, these are both green. A lot of times these running boards were orange or green, okay? As far as the number plates always were brass, but, as I said, they have an E on the end, but the lettering went from black to red. This one was just black. That's my understanding. Another change to the color configuration was the window frames right here. These guys match this, green on green, green on green. But there were times when this was orange, these were orange. Also, when it was orange, these were made in brass. Okay? Let's see what else I can tell you that's interesting. The 384, there's 4 different types. The 384E, there were only 3 types. I like them both equally. I tend to run this one more only because I can just lock this in. However, you can lock this one in also, the 384E. There's a lever on the back underneath here. Oops, I'm sorry, it's on the front right here. See where my thumb is? It's just a slight push up or down to lock it in and release it. And that'll just let it reverse and go forward. Me, I just like them having them in forward because it's easier to run on the layout than waiting for it to maybe work sometimes on this one. They usually do. They're pretty good about it. As you know, I like to get these and leave them as is. This one, I'm going to try to zoom in on that. See that right there? Whoa, right there. It's cracked all the way across. That doesn't mean it won't work. That just means that you got to be very careful with it. The front end, when they break, they usually fall off. Another bad thing about this design was these die-cast cow catchers. A lot of times you'll find these wiped out. Right off, it'll be clean. The only way to fix that is to try to cut something off from another one, somehow bolt it, glue it, whatever you can to get it to stay on, but I've never had to do that yet. I've got one with a bad frame like that. I just won't use it till I find another frame. Coal tenders that came with these were usually matching, green on green. This one here, and it's usually right here on the stripe. Probably just got cleaned off at one point, and not put back on again. I'm trying to see it here. I can't see, you can see. The other difference on these tenders also was they came out with one with a crackle finish, which is pretty cool. That's really it. Oh, and they didn't come out with a whistle tender either with this. These were just the low-end engines from the 30s. So you saw in the Christmas video, if you saw it, I had some passenger cars. I'm going to get them on here also to give you a little more in depth on those, because there's two different types I have here, and I think that's pretty cool. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. So right now, I only have 3 of the cars up here. I have the other 4, ooh, still down there. By the way, I put the 384E on the track, so maybe we'll try to give that a run around before we end this video. So anyways, this is the 319, the 320, the 322, the 200 series wheels. When I say 200 series, in case you guys are wondering, it's these. These are way bigger than your regular standard gauge wheels, and I think these cars look great with these wheels on them. They're just cool looking. I think it's cool looking with the larger wheels. But there's 3 of them here. There's the baggage car, which is a 320. Then you have the observation car. The observation car is a 322. Then you just have the regular Pullman, it's a 319. There were a couple different differences when they made these. The big difference was in the road names. Oh, and by the way, these cars were made from 1924 to 1930. So these preceded the 384s, you know, in production. At first, when Lionel started production, they didn't make the baggage. They just made these 2, the Pullman and this. The observation and the Pullman car. They were produced from 24 to 30. The baggage car started production in 25 and carried through to 30. Now there was a break in there. They discontinued production of all 3 of these for a year, and they brought them back, but they weren't cataloged in the catalog anywhere. They were just produced for whatever reason they wanted to do it. Lionel did many different things. The 19 and the 22, these both had New York Central, which is here, and Lionel Lines road names on them. These are just both New York Central. I think I've got one over there on the Christmas layout with Lionel Lines on it. The 320 baggage car had Lionel Lines, New York Central, and Illinois Central. I have not seen an Illinois Central one anywhere, but I've seen both Lionel Lines and New York Central. By the way, these doors do work. On all these cars, they do open and close. They're illuminated. They have their cool little instructions on the bottom. Tell you what to do, when to do it. Oop, that's upside down. All right, there we go. Nice little instructions they put on here. So, anyways, these big things here are just for like the air brakes, simulate the air brakes on the cars. They have latch couplers. They're all illuminated. The doors all function. The baggage car has doors on both sides that open and close. The colors are always the same. This is a neat color. I like it. Not a whole lot else to say other than love these wheels. Like the way they look, like the way they sound when they roll around. So I'm going to go over here, bring this down a little bit. We'll get the 384E running a little bit. Then that'll be the end of this video. All right, here we go. This is the 384E. Oh. Oh, he hasn't been run yet this year. No, really doesn't want to run. And this is really the first time it's been on the track for a year. Here he comes, slow but sure. I like that green headlight. It's green. Oh, there we go. Waking up. There we go. One lap around did it. All right, folks. As always, please like, share, and subscribe. And it is New Year's Eve, so hope everyone has a good, safe New Year's. Let's start out the new year by running your trains. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.